Students, in this class we are going to discuss about DIT FFT. Last class we have discussed about the derivation algorithmic part of DIT FFT. In this class we are going to discuss how to find DFT using a DIT FFT algorithm. So here considered as a problem, that is x of n is equal to 2 power n is given and the number of points n is equal to 8. You need to find x of k. Okay, so in order to find the x of k, you need the sequence x of n. Here x of n is given in a mathematical relation. So first step is convert into the sequences by substituting different values for small n. We know that small n and k varies from n is equal n and k varies from 0 to n minus 1. So when you substitute n from 0 to 7, so you will get different values of x. So that we have to consider as a sequence, and using that answer you are going to find out the DFT. By substituting different values of n, I have got these sequences, that is n is equal to 0, 2 power 0 is 1. Similarly, substituting different values of n, I got these sequences. So finally you have to consider x of n as 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 and 128. Now using this sequence you are going to find out the DFT using DIT FFT algorithm. In this we are going to find out the radix to FFT. So the n can be written as 2 power n. Here n is equal to 8, therefore it is 2 power 3. This 3 represent the number of stages. So this 3 represent the number of stages of decimation. Now we are going to use 3 stages of decimation. The next step is you need to write the inputs in the bit reverse order. So already we have discussed about this. So in the last class, so just this is the normal order of the sequence and this is the bit reverse order. So now I'm for the first stage of decimation, we have to give the input in the bit reverse order. Now we will see directly the algorithm how we can give the input in a bit reverse order. In the first stage of decimation, what we need to do is first we need to write the input in the bit reverse order. So first, what is the first sequence? So this is x of 0, x of 4, x of 2, x of 6, x of 1, x of 5, x of 3 and x of 7. So this is the order you need to write it. Now corresponding values we need to write it, we have to give it as an input. So this is x of 0, right? So I'm going to write this as 1. So you need to find x of 4. Here x of 4 is 16. So I am writing 16 here. So x of 2 is 4. So here it is 4. X of 6 is 64. Okay, so it is 64 here. Similarly, you need to write for the remaining sequence. So the next step is what we need to in the first stage is we need to group two inputs, these two inputs, and we have to draw the flow diagram. So for this what you need to do is you just divide this line into 2 equal parts. So first consider these two group and you draw a flow diagram in this manner. Okay, similarly you have to draw for the all sequences. So I have drawn the flow diagram for all the sequences. Now these are the 4 groups. So 2 inputs combined together and we are having 4 groups. So here this is the one group. Now see in this here we are having 2 sequence. So just divide this 2 sequence. So you will get 1 n sequence. So last half of the sequence what you need to do is you need to write -1. So this is the last half of the sequence, you need to write -1, and this is the last half of the sequence, you need to write -1. So wherever you are writing -1, just write the 12 factor. Here you get w8 power 0, w8 power 0, and here it is w8 power 0 and w8 power 0. So already we have seen how we got all these values, right? -1, w8 power 0 in the theoretical classes. Okay, So the next one is we need to know the value of w8 power 0. So e power minus j 2 pi n is 8 nk. Instead of nk, here we are having is 0. Okay, so e power 0 equal to 1. So the value of w8 power 0 is 1 in this case. So this is what about the first stages of decimation. Now what you need to do is, after substituting w8 power 0 is equal to 1, we need to do computation of the output for the first stage. So what you have to do is, first, so consider this is the first input sequence. So in order to obtain output at this point, you are having two arrow. One is from this sequence, another is from this line. So what I am going to do is, so here there is no value in this line, so I am having 1. So this arrow come from this line, so it is 16 into 1 into minus 1, so it is minus 16. So your answer is 16 into 1 into no, you should not consider minus, it is 1 plus 16, so it is plus 17 here. Now consider this one. So for this arrow, first you need corresponding sequences. So what you are having here, 16 into 1 into minus 1, so here only you will get minus 16. Now consider the previous sequences, 1, so plus 1, so here you will get minus 15. Here you get minus 15. So similarly you have to do for the other sequence. We will see for the second sequence, second group. So here you have 4, you have 4 in this line. Here you are having 64, so 64 into 64 plus 64, which is equal to 68. Okay, so by computation of all these values, so I got these answers. So just what you need to do is, first consider the parent line. So the value is 8. Then consider the value from the second neighbor line. Okay, this is 128. So 128 into 1. So 8 plus 128, 136. Now here first, this is the parent line for this one. So 128 minus 128. So neighbor line. So 8 which is equal to minus 120. So this is the first stage of computation. In the second stage of decimation, previous output we have to give here as the input. So similarly here we have to draw the flow graph. Here in this previous stage we have grouped into 2. Now here we are going to group into 4. So as a one stage, for that first you need to divide this line. So how will you do is, this is as a separate group. So in this 4 group, if you divide into 2 groups, you will get 2 groups. So for this 2 groups, I am going to combine this as like this, and I am going to draw like this. Okay, so similarly here I am going to draw like this for the second group. Okay, so what is the thing we have done after grouping it? For the last half of the group we have put minus 1. So in this first group, this is the last half of the group, so I am putting minus 1. So wherever I am putting minus 1, so there I need to write down the twiddle factor. Here the twiddle factor, what you need to do is w8 power 01, here w8 power 0, w8 power 2. Similarly here w8 power 0, w8 power 2. There we got w8 power 0 as 1. Here it is e power minus j 2 pi 8 into 2, which is nothing but e power minus j pi by 2. So which is equal to minus j. Since cos pi by 2 minus j pi by 2, you will get the value is minus j. So the value is minus j in this case. Now we need to find out the output for this stage. If you want to find out output for this line, first consider the parent line. There are no values here, so directly 17 here. Okay, now this line is coming from this point. So 68 plus 1. 68 into 1, so you will get 68 here. So the next, consider the second line. So minus 15, this line come from this point, so minus 60 into minus j, so you will get plus 60j. Similarly here you will have you consider this line, say minus 68. First you have to write down the parent line, minus 68. then from this above plus 17, then here it is minus 60 minus j minus 1, so here you will get minus 60j. So another line is this one, so minus 15. So now you got this answer. Similarly we have to complete for this stage. So this is the answer I got for the last half of the sequence. Now using this output we need to proceed for the third stage of computation. Now this is the third stage of decimation. In this decimation we have to consider this as a single group. We are going to combine 4 inputs. So here we are going to divide the whole one group into 2 parts. The first part is 4, the second part is 4. So what I am going to do is I am going to draw from the first part. So the line will be like this, okay. So the flow graph will be like this. So similarly here I have to draw for this part. Okay, this flow graph is over. The next we need to consider the last half. In the last half what you need to do, we need to write the minus 1. So I have written minus 1. Wherever you have written minus 1, there you need to write down the Twiddle factor. So W8 power 1, W8 power 2 and W8 power 3. So we know the value of W8 power 2, it is minus j. Similarly we need to find W8 power 1. So e power minus j 2 pi by 8 into 1. So which is equal to 0.707 minus j 0.707. Similarly W8 power 3 e power minus j 2 pi by 8 into 3, which is equal to minus 0.707 minus j 0.707. So here I am substituting 0.707 minus j 0.707, 0.707 minus 0.707 minus 0.707 minus j 0.707. So now using this we need to find out the output. So first consider this line. So it is 85. From this line 170 plus 170. Okay, so the next one is consider this one, minus 15 plus 60j. So here it comes from here, so it is minus 120 plus j. Okay, minus 120 into minus j, so it is plus 102j. Sorry, here we have to consider from this one. So the second line what it is coming from is minus 30 plus j 120 into 0.707 minus j 0.707. Okay, so plus this value. Similarly here minus 51, here plus 120j. So in this line it is minus 60j minus 15. This line come from this line, so it is minus 30 minus j 120 into minus 0.707 minus j 0.707. So the next one is here it is 170 into 1 into minus 1, so minus 170 plus it come from this line, so it is 85. So here it is minus 30 plus j 120 into here it is plus 0.707 minus j 0.707. So this can be written as minus 0.707 plus j 0.707, and this line come from this point. So here it is plus minus 15 plus 60j. Similarly, I have written for these two stages. So then after writing this, we need to simplify this. That is the final results. And the output you have to take in the normal order. You should not take it in a bit reverse order. This is x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, x of 3, x of 4, x of 5, x of 6 and x of 7. So here I have simplified this. For this I have taken and listed the last output stages. So this is x of 0 value, and simplifying, after simplifying each sequences I am getting answers like this. So finally you need to write down in this order. So this is what the required output. Okay, now if you want to verify whether you have output is correct, you know that x of 1 and x of 7 should be the complex conjugate. See, this one and this one is the complex conjugate. Similarly minus 51 plus 120j minus 21 Listen, here I have just had a confusion. Here it is minus 151 plus here it is coming from in this way, so it is minus 51 plus 102j. Okay, so this is what I have corrected. I have written at 120. Okay, so similarly I have corrected here, so I have written in this order. Okay, so it is minus 102j. So both are complex conjugate, so now these two is the complex conjugate. Like this you can check your answers. So now for this three problems you check using the same procedure, and we will discuss these answers in the next class. Thank you.